Hello, Showdown Nation. This is your guru, Colby Talathis, and we're going to do one of our draft specials today. Today we're going to be highlighting one of our leagues out in Seattle. This is a 2012 league that is going to have 6 guys in it playing by AL rules. They're also going to be playing pure with no strategy cards. And they've also added in 10 of our custom cards, our Mariner cards, which have been posted on our blog. We'll have links for you down at the bottom if you'd like to see what those 10 cards added to the draft are. So that's 610 cards will be legal to draft, the 2012 set and the custom Mariner card. First, we're just going to go through some of the picks. I'll go through the first 5 rounds in order and just give you a brief idea of what I'm thinking these teams are going to look like and how they're going to do. First player who got to draft was Jesse. Jesse drafted the 1997 Ken Griffey Jr., a 700-point, speed A, 9, 15 to 20 homer. Best hitter that's going to be available in this league. Love the pick. You spent 700 points right off the bat, so you're going to have some problems down the road. But one pick in, you're leading the charge. Steve comes up behind, drafts another one of our custom cards, the Edgar Martinez from 1995. At 580 points for an 11. First base, I know first base is a weak class. I bet there's a little bit of fan favorite here. Not a bad card, but, second pick at first base. You can do better. And I'm going to just say right now, I'm grading on the curve of winning, putting who I think will win these leagues. If these guys are out there just to have fun and play with their favorites, they're not here to defend themselves, but that is fully an explanation for that. The number 3 pick is Colin, coming in with Ichiro from 04. Great pick. The big question with this pick, if you've read, is whether or not he's an RBI guy or a run guy or both. For 380 points. First pick, great, very efficient. I like that. Jason's first pick, he comes in with Mike Trout, who's one of the best all-around players from the 2012 class. This is a guy who's a 10, a speed A with a 23. He's a complete player. He's going to do great. You spent 600 points, but you got a great player who can bat. 3 in your lineup. No problems with this whatsoever. With Sal coming in with the 5th pick with A-Rod from 1996. This is one, drafting A-Rod, never a bad choice. I will say that first and foremost. 680 points, but you're getting a 10, shortstop, best shortstop in the league. He's going to be the all-star shortstop from this class. Again, no problem with this. And to round out the first round, again, I have no issues with this pick. Probably one of the smarter picks, not because the player himself is great, but because what you saw in the first round was A20, an 11, A22, A23, A20 go. We get Yadier Molina from Travis. You're getting a 10 catcher with a 9 arm. The only better arm is Blanco. You got a good offensive catcher, and you're going to slow down the running game. You saw that all the teams in the league, except for the one with Edgar Martinez, are going to have some element of speed in the heart of their order. You're at least slowing them down. I like it. We're going to turn around and go to the... I'm not even going to rank them because I like all those picks except for the Edgar pick, but I can't fault anyone for taking an 11 with 19 to 20 power. So, can't fault them too much. I liked all the picks. I thought they were all good. No horrible picks there. We're going to turn around and go to the second round of this draft, where we're going to see that Travis comes back, and he does get Robinson Cano, another great efficient player, a defensive player as well as an offensive player. You're going to have 2 10s now. Both of them are great. Both of them are going to be able to slow down the other team defensively and also hopefully score you some runs. You're going to need a more pure offensive player, but you've done very well there. High on base. You've spent under 1,000 points. Nothing wrong with that, Travis. Sal comes back and he drafts Ryan Braun. So now you have a pair of 10 speed A's. A-Rod being a 10 speed A, 18 to 20. Braun being a 17 to 20. You just got 2 guys who could, in a 90-game season, which is what they agreed to play, go 15-15, 15 home runs, 15 stolen bases. We're in the middle of an order, really put some pressure on people. You did spend 1,330 points, though, but, again, we can solve that problem down the road. This is where I start to see people separating. Jason comes back and gets probably the greatest combination of players early on in the first 2 picks. Jason picks up Mike Trout, and to bat 4th, he picks up Melky Cabrera for 400 points. So at 1,000 points, you have a 10 speed A 23, and then you put a 10 behind him with a low walk who's going to be able to single him in. That is going to be runs right there for only 1,000 points. I think this is efficient. It may not score the most runs of any 3-4, but it may be the most efficient 3-4 right off the bat to create for 1,000 points, taking care of the outfield really quickly. Then we come back to Colin, and you have an interesting pair of players here. Remember, he takes Ichiro in the first round, takes Mauer, a very interesting player, in 11 for 420. The question is, right now, is he going to play him at catcher with +2? All the speed A's in the league are hoping that they do, but we'll see. Is it a perfect fit? I don't know, but for 800 points, you have a 10 speed A, a bunch of guys who are going to cause some problem. The question is, are they going to create runs? Steve comes out here, and remember, he takes Edgar Martinez. He comes out with Buster Posey, who he's going to catch. Is it a perfect pairing? I'm not sure, but again, you got two good players, so how bad is this going to end up? I don't know. For 1,090 points, did he do better than Trout and Melky Cabrera? I don't think so. So I think he spends 90 points and gets a worse pairing of players. Not because these two players are bad by themselves, but is the pairing going to create as many runs? I'm not sure. And then we come back with Jesse, who, remember, took Griffey for 700 points, gets the Triple Crown winner, Miguel Cabrera, to play third. He gets the two best hitters in this draft, potentially, with Griffey and Cabrera. They don't come cheap. You're going to spend 1,320 points, but you will have a very meaty 3-4 of your lineup. You got someone who can protect Griffey, and he will not get walked. The question is, what are you going to get out of those? I like the picks. You got two guys who can do a lot of good things there. Through 2 rounds, I think I like the initial pairing of Jason's. As we come around through the turn, this is where me and Jesse are going to disagree. He's going to spend a lot of points on his line. He's going to spend 500 points for Ben Zobrist, who I think does not fit well here. If you're going to spend 500 points with Griffey and Cabrera, for me, I would likely have gone with Giancarlo here. Picked a home run hitter, put him in there, and gone with 3 mashers. But for 500 points, you get a guy with a little on base, a little power, likely an inefficient pick in the sense of you're not going to get as many runs if you had just gone extreme one way or another, just done on base and sacrificed the power, or gone for some power. And then we're going to come back here with Steve, who comes up with an interesting pick with, remember, he takes Edgar Martinez, Buster Posey, who could play first base, but obviously with Edgar, he's likely not going to unless there's a weird switch. He picks up Prince Fielder, which means he's going to have 2 first basemen. Remember, no DHs have been picked yet, and we discount our DHs a ton. And in leagues like this, where you can play a DH in an American league, you could pick Billy Butler for 100 less points. Save those points, help himself out. This is Fielder's not a bad player. Again, do I like him with these guys anyway? No, but if you were going to, why not go Billy Butler? Save the 100 points, and I would have liked that a little more. Cullen comes back. Remember, he has Ichiro and Mauer, and now he has Fowler. So the thought is, okay, is it going to be Fowler because he has a bigger walk? Ichiro second, who could drive him in. Mauer third for 1,270 points. Not the worst idea in the world. Not my idea of fun because I don't like stolen bases, but I think there's something there. I think you could be able to play with something. And Jason is the first player to pick a starting pitcher. Not a thing that we recommend around here, but he picks a good one with Felix Hernandez, a guy who can go 8 innings, save the bullpen. Remember, he has that great 3-4. He's going to score some runs, as we believe. He's got a guy with a decent strikeout. Probably the guy you're going to fear the most because he doesn't give up that double. Pitches deep, decent strikeout. Doing pretty good there. So, and then you're going to come see next that Sal apparently isn't playing with a salary cap because he picks up Justin Verlander after A-Rod and Ryan Braun. He is going to be the first person to crack 2,000 points. He is going to pick up Justin Verlander, another 8-inning pitch guy. He has that double, big strikeout. Again, he is likely more scary than King Felix, but a little bit more expensive. But Sal seems to think that his stars are going to carry him, and I don't think that's the worst idea in the world thus far. Spend the points, solve your problems later. And to keep up our string of pitchers, Travis comes up with Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw has no double. You have a big catcher arm. You have a second baseman with a +5. I think those 3 players go together very well. Of the 3, I think the 3 guys who did take the starters did do well. I think that has a little bit to do with Jesse taking Zobrist at 500 points, Steve being inefficient taking Fielder, And then I think actually Colin is probably leading the charge though with that nice start of the order. So we come back through now with Travis picking up Reyes. So now you have Reyes and Cano up the middle. Reyes, remember, has that 23 speed, real weapon. Cano with that big single. There could be some runs there. Plus 8 for defense is not a bad middle of the infield. I like the option there. Sal apparently learned that there was a 5,000 point salary cap. Picks up Jeff Francis, our first 4-inning pitcher to go. Remember, he has Verlander who can go 8, so you're going to have a fresh bullpen pretty often. But Jeff Francis will be the MVP of this team if he goes above 500. If he can win more than half of his games coming out of the 4 slot, those mean just as many as what Verlander wins. He saves a ton of points. If he can overachieve his 10-point limit, he's going to allow guys like A-Rod and Braun, who are plus points, to really be worth their while. If Francis doesn't win those games, you're going to look at those A-Rod and Braun picks and wonder if they were actually as efficient as possible. Jason's going to come by and he's going to draft one of the more efficient players in this draft, and he's going to pick up Hannigan. He's going to be that catcher with the big arm. Efficient. Somebody that Trout would have not liked to see. Somebody who was around the league would have ruined some of Trout's efficiency. Hannigan can bat really anywhere in the order with that 9 on base. Probably going to end up batting behind Cabrera somewhere. Not really an offensive weapon, but again, efficient. You took him off the board with 1,810 points. You still have plenty of room left to go by. That last piece of the puzzle that's looking like it's going to be there. Remember, you did get a big pitcher already. Colin ended up coming out with a decent pick here when he comes up with Chase Headley. Again, a good player. Do I like his combination now with Ichiro, Mauer, Fowler, and Headley? It's an odd-looking 1, 2, 3, 4 there for 1,730 points. Cheap guys, decent guys, efficient guys. I don't like it, but we'll see what happens. And then Steve comes through with Jeff Keppinger. Great pick as far as the player. Again, I like the player. I don't like the pick here. This is going to kind of be a theme of this end of the draft. He can get on base. Is that really what you need with Edgar Martinez, Posey, Fielder? I don't know. If he can't necessarily get himself into a scoring position, I could see these guys leaving a lot of guys on base. Jesse comes through with Anderson Simmons. I love the player. I love an A as an 8 with a +5, but I'm not sure that fits with the Griffey Cabrera lineup. Some guys who are going to walk a lot. You may just want to, if you combine Zobrist and Simmons and just put on base or just put power, you may have had a little bit more success. So through 4, I think Sal's winning me over with the superpower and then Francis, but we'll go back through for the 5th pick and then finally rank them. Jesse picks up Brandon Morrow, who has a potent chart, only 5 innings pitched for 450 points. He spent roughly half of his team's points in the first 5 picks. Got 2 great players, 3 guys who are kind of iffy. And then you come back through and Steve picks up Jeter, another guy I like. He can lead off for this team. I think this is probably one of his best picks in the entire draft thus far to get to 2,080 points. +5 fielder, nothing wrong with that. No issue with that pick. Great pick there. Colin comes through and gets Matt Holliday. So all of a sudden you have 5 guys, all of which are 10s or Mauers and 11. Just a very odd-looking combination. They're going to score runs, but at 2,160 points, are they going to score that many runs? I'm not sure. And how are you going to exactly place them? I'm also not sure what the most efficient thing is. Jason comes through and drafts Dustin Pedroia, an 8, a speed A with a decent chart, +4 fielding. A little expensive, maybe not the most efficient, but he's had a pair of efficient guys who team up well. And Hannigan, we'll see how his lineup finishes out. And then Sal comes in and gets a great deal here with Juan Pierre at 100 points, a base stealer. We know he's going to steal some bases with Braun and A-Rod. Not a bad pick here, picking up Juan Pierre. Travis comes through and he picks up Lynn. He's a 6, 1 to 15 for 5 innings pitched. He's one of those guys I think is good enough to lose. As a number 2, is he going to be good enough to lose? I hope not. I think he's had a lot of good picks right now with Yadier, Cano, and Reyes. I think that's a good lineup. The rotation still has some work to be done. We'll see how he does. As I'm ranking him through 5 picks, I think Jason won the first 5 picks with that great pairing up top. And then with 3 solid picks, nothing I can question. Sal comes in second because I really do like his 3-headed monster there with A-Rod, Braun, Verlander. and I thought he came up with two guys who will overperform in Francis and Pierre. And then I have Travis coming in third thus far. The other three guys, I think I already showed you that I think they pick good players. I think the problem that they're going to run into is those players working together and those invisible point games you have with good players working together. We're going to come through with another draft showing the next 5 picks and how the teams are going to come together. We'll hope to keep it a little bit shorter, maybe not as much player-by-player analysis in that one. We're going to hopefully keep you guys updated on this league and hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope you guys are all having fun in your own leagues, and remember to send us your stats and stuff so we can highlight you guys. Hope you guys are all having a great time enjoying our 2012 set and play for the card.